Welcome back, folks, to another episode of Jamin's Daily. We're going to do our very first book review, folks. Okay, we're approaching 200 episodes, and we've done all kinds of different things, but I don't think we've done a book review, and so we are going to do several episodes going over this book right here. Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. 21 Great Ways to Stop Procrastinating and Get More Done in Less Time. So that's what the next couple episodes, we're going to go over it. You know, the great thing about this book is not very long. It's just a little bit over 100 pages. So it's a very, let me see here. Look, it's not a thick book at all. And I've read maybe 20 pages of it, and it goes over all the things that everybody already knows. So at work, my associate at work had this book, and it caught my eye, and I asked, "Hey, can I borrow it? Can I look at it?" So I did. Started looking at it, and it was, divine appointment to some degree. Like, this is what I needed at the right time because the role that I've taken on at work, it's very task oriented. Okay, folks, there's tasks to be done that you have to do in an order, and certain tasks are more demanding than others. And so you have to plan and you have to complete these tasks. And the thing is, as everybody knows, some tasks are harder than others, and it's easy to put those off. And that's what this book is about, telling you that those harder tasks are the frog, and you have to eat it. You just gotta do it, whether you like it or not. And the fact is, if the whole thing is, once you get that out of the way, if you train yourself to get that out of the way and you do the hardest thing first, then it's smooth sailing afterwards. It only makes sense. You do the hard thing first and everything else becomes what? Easier by comparison. Okay? So, started reading this book, and I just want to give you a couple of highlights and rules, folks. So one of the rules is rule number 1. Decide. You need to decide exactly what you want. This book is 21 Great Ways to Stop Procrastinating and Get More Done in Less Time. And so, again, this isn't reinventing anything. It's telling you what a lot of people already know, but the thing is, you got to look at this and practice it every day. And that's what this thing is telling you about. So you got to keep it in your line of sight and look at it, read it. That's why it's only 100 pages. It doesn't need to be 300 pages. It only needs to be 100 pages of that you read over and over and over again to remind you about the things that you need to do. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at these rules. So one is, you got to have a clear plan. You have to have a clear goals, what you want. Decide what you want, number 1. Number 2, you have to write it down, folks. Once you know what you want, to write it down so you can look at it and see it, visualize it. Then number 3, you got to set a goal for that. You got to have the goal, that you have to have the deadline. I'm sorry. So number 3, you have to have a deadline, right? So 1 was figure out what you want. 2 is write it down. 3, set a deadline for when it is you want to accomplish that, right? 4, then you make a list of all the things. How can I accomplish this in this timeline for my deadline? You got to make a list of everything that you can think of that you're going to have to do to reach your goal. All right? Number 5, then you organize the list into a plan. All kinds of studies, all kinds of evidence that shows if you make a plan, you will be more successful. Okay? Make a plan. Write it down, list things out, and then make a plan. Number 6, you have to take action immediately, folks. What this says is doing anything is better than doing nothing at all. Doing anything towards your goal is better than doing nothing at all. And you have to do anything every day. So you got to do something towards your goal every day. You have to take action. Like it says here, if you make a plan, an average plan that is executed and worked on vigorously is better than the most amazing plan in which nobody does anything. Okay? Make sense? Number 7 is you have to resolve to do something every single day that moves you towards your major goal. So you take action right away, and then you got to do it every day. Okay? So you got to take action right away, and then you have to do it every day. Kind of rhymes there. Maybe I'm onto something. All right? So, eat the frog. Again, your frog, what is the frog? The frog is the worst thing you have to do every day. All right? So, every day you have calls you have to make that are unpleasant. You got it. That's your frog. Every day you might have to do a task that's not the most pleasant. That's what you should do first. Because again, then all the other tasks after that seem more simple, seem easier, seem more fun to do by comparison. All right? And the thing about it, like this says, is the frog is what you're most likely to procrastinate on. You put it off. Sometimes, for me personally, your frog isn't necessarily even the hardest. That's why they don't say the hardest. It's the worst. Some of these can be it's easy. It's a phone call. All you got to do is call and tell somebody something sometimes. And that can be the worst and hardest thing to do, which you procrastinate on. So why is that's why you always want to do that first. Okay? Do it first. We're going to try. We're going to try to live what we preach. We're going to try to actually put this into practice, which is why we're going to have a little book review and go over this. I've read the first chapter. I went over, and that first chapter was called Set the Table. And part of that chapter, it talks about these 7 rules, and I already gave them to you. It even gives you a little bit of a exercise to do after every chapter as well. This one tells you to take a clean sheet of paper right now and make a list of 10 goals you want to accomplish in the next year. Write your goals as though a year has already passed and they are a reality. Use the present tense, positive, and first person so that they are immediately accepted by your subconscious mind. For example, you would write, I earn X number of dollars per year, and I weigh X number of pounds, or I drive such and such car. Okay, then go back over your list of 10 goals and select the one goal that if you achieved it would have the greatest positive impact on your life. Whatever that goal is, write it on a separate sheet of paper, set a deadline, make a plan, take action on your plan, and then do something every single day that moves you towards that goal. This exercise alone could change your life, folks. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to write this down on the next episode. This is to be continued. So we're going to do a little bit of a series on this. So the next time part 2 of Eat the Frog episodes is going to be where I'm going to write this down. I'm going to show it. I'm going to put it up here for you to see what I put on there. And then we'll go into chapter 2 where it says plan every day in advance. But we're going to do that in the next episode because we're already getting up to about over 10 minutes and we're trying to keep these videos short and sweet, folks. So next time, we're going to go over part 2, plan every day in advance. Until then, folks, thanks for joining me on my podcast, Jamin's Daily. You can follow us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, like, share, tell all your friends, folks. And until the next time, stick with me because the best is yet to come.